Dhara Srivasadu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto4, Chapter 18, Text 20. Anyecha Maine Mayam.
Anyecha Maino Mayam.
Antardhana Bhutatmanam.
Antardhana Bhutatmanam.
Mayam Prakalpya Vatsante.
Mayam Prakalpya Vatsante.
Duduhur Dharana Mayim.
Duduhur Dharana Mayim.
And purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Others also, the inhabitants of planets known as Kimpurusha Lok, made the demon Maya into a calf, and they milked out mystic powers by which one can disappear immediately from another's vision and appear again in a different form. It is said that the inhabitants of Kimpurusha Loka can perform many wonderful mystic demonstrations. In other words, they can exhibit as many wonderful things as one can imagine. The inhabitants of this planet can do whatever they like or whatever they imagine. Such powers are also mystic powers. The possession of such mystic power is called Ishita. So yesterday we were hearing that how the Vidyadharas, they had mystic power, that they could fly in the sky. And the Siddhalokas, they have the 8 mystic powers. Does anyone remember? A few of them.
They can be the smallest of the smallest. They can be bigger than the biggest. And
Yeah.
they can
that.
fly to any
Yeah. That's right. And the Vidyadhar Loka, they can. What did we read yesterday? They had the special power of flying in the sky from one place to another. They could go anywhere.
Okay.
And so now this Kimpurusha Loka, they have something called Ishta. Ishta. They can do anything they like. Whatever they imagine, they can do it. Just imagine how much control, how much power is that. So the demons generally learn such mystic powers by the practice of yoga. In the Dashamaskand, 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a vivid description of how the demons appear before Krishna in various wonderful forms. For instance, Bakasura appeared before Krishna and cowherd boyfriends as a gigantic crane. While present on this planet, Lord Krishna had to fight with many demons who could exhibit the wonderful mystic powers of Kimpurusha Loka. So, it's true, like the Bakasur was coming, even Pūtana. Does anyone remember what form did Pūtana come as?
She came as a cowherd damsel, no?
Yeah.
And she wanted to feed Krishna.
Yeah. And her real form was like so gigantic, like so huge, red haired and horrible looking, but she made herself look so beautiful. So they had all these wonderful powers. All the inhabitants of Kimpurusha Loka are naturally endowed with such powers. One can attain these powers on this planet by performing different yogic practices. So Prabhupada is saying, by doing some yoga practice, one can get this kind of powers. We have to try to understand that even if we get such powers, we are still subject to birth, death, old age, and disease. They sound really wonderful. Oh, wow, I can do anything. But then we're still gonna we're gonna still die, still birth, still old age, still disease, still be remaining in the material world. Still can't go back home, back to Godhead. Yaksha Rakshamsi Bhutani.
Yaksha Bhutani.
Pishacha Pishita-shana.
Pishata cha pichita.
Bhutesha vatsa duduhu.
Bhutesha
Bhutesha
Kapale shatajasavam.
Kapale Shata
Shatajasavam.
Then the yakshas, rakshasas, ghosts, and witches who are habituated to eating flesh transform Lord Shiva's incarnation Bhutna, into a calf and milked out beverages made of blood and put them in a pot made of skulls. There are some types of living entities in the form of human beings whose living conditions and eatables are most abominable. Generally, they eat flesh and fermented blood, which is mentioned in this verse as Shatajasavam. The leaders of such degraded men, known as yakshas, rakshasas, bhutas, and pishachas, are all in the mode of ignorance. They have been placed under the control of Rudra. Rudra is the incarnation of Lord Shiva and is in charge of the mode of ignorance in material nature. Another name of Lord Shiva is Bhutnath, meaning master of ghosts. Rudra was born from between Brahma's eyes, and when Brahma was very angry at the four Kumaras. So Lord Shiva is the son of Brahmaji, and Brahmaji got very angry because first the four Kumaras, he gave birth to four Kumaras. And so he told them, okay, procreate now, increase the population of the universe. They're like, no way, we are just interested in devotional service. So he got angry, and with his anger came out Rudra from between his eyebrows. It's a manifestation of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is very, very kind. He's very kind that he allows the ghosts, to get human bodies. So he's a great Vaishnava, Lord Shiva, Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu, and he's a great devotee of Lord Krishna. And his real followers, those are really the followers of the Rudra Sampradaya, the pure devotees, not wanting any material benefit, wanting Krishna prema. So reading on, Tatha Hayo Danda Sukha.
Tata Hayodanda Shuka
Sarpanagascha takshakam
Sarpanagascha Takshakam
vidhaya vatsam duduhur
Vidaya Vatsam Duduhur
bilapatre vishampaya.
Bilapatri Vishampaya.
After cobras and snakes without hoods, large snakes, scorpions, and many other poisonous animals took poison out of the planet Earth as their milk and kept this poison in snake holes. They made a calf out of takshak. Within this material world, there are various types of living entities, and the different types of reptiles and scorpions mentioned in this verse are also provided with their sustenance by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The point is that everyone is taking his eatables from the planet Earth. According to one's association with the material qualities, one develops a certain type of character. So association with the gunas, then we get a particular character. Payapanam bhujan ganam. If one feeds a serpent milk, the snake will simply increase his venom. However, if one supplies milk to a talented sage or saint, the sage will develop finer brain tissues by which he can contemplate higher spiritual life. So the character of the snake is such because the modes that he is in. And then the sage, of course, he's in the mode of goodness. And so if we give milk to a snake, it's going to just increase the poison, whereas we give milk to a sage, The sage can in fact benefit us by giving us more spiritual knowledge. Thus, the Lord is supplying everyone food, but according to the living entity's association with the modes of material nature, the living entity develops his specific character. So we are all under the three modes of material nature. We are dancing according to the modes. In the association of these modes, we have developed certain character. And so that's why it is so important for us to associate with the devotees, with the sadhus. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra ka hai, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi hai. It can help us transcend the modes. Pashavo Yavasam Shiram.
Ashavo Yavasam Shridam.
Vatsam Kritva Chago Vrisham.
Vatsam Kritva Chago Vrisham.
Aranya Patre Chadukshan.
Aranya Patre Chadukshan.
Mrigendrena Chadamstrina.
Mrigendrena Chadamstrina.
Kravyada Pranina Kravyam.
Kravyada Pranina Kravyam.
Duduhu Svekale Vare.
Duduhu Svekale Vare.
Suparna Vatsa Vihagas.
Suparna Vatsa Vihagas.
Charam Cha Charam Evacha.
Charam Chacharam Evacha.
The four-legged animals, like the cows, made a calf out of the bull who carries Lord Shiva and made a milking pot out of the forest. Thus they got fresh green grasses to eat. Ferocious animals like tigers transformed a lion into a calf, and thus they were able to get flesh for milk. The birds made a calf out of Garuda and took milk from the planet Earth in the form of moving insects and non-moving plants and grasses. So as Prabhupada pointed out in the earlier verse, everyone is taking from the earth whatever they need for their sustenance, and everything is provided by Krishna. Krishna is maintaining everyone. There are many carnivorous birds descended from Garuda, the winged carrier of Lord Vishnu. Indeed, there is a particular type of bird that is very fond of eating monkeys. And eagles are fond of eating goats. Of course, many birds eat only fruits and berries. Therefore, the words charam, referring to moving animals, and acharam, referring to grasses, fruits, and vegetables, are mentioned in this verse. So both the types of birds, the carnivorous birds and the herbivorous birds, are mentioned. Vata vatsa vanaspatya.
Vata Vatsa Vanaspataya.
Prithag rasamayam paya.
Prithag Rasamayam Paya.
Girayo himavad vatsa.
Gito Hima Vatsa.
Nana dhatun swasanushu.
Nana Dhatu Sasanus.
The trees made a calf out of the banyan tree, and thus they derived milk in the form of many delicious juices. The mountains transformed the Himalayas into a calf, and they milked a variety of minerals into a pot made of the peaks of hills. So even the tree and the Himalayas also. The Himalayas are getting minerals. And the trees, the various juices. Sarvesa Mukhya Vatsena.
Sarve Swamukya Vatsena.
Sve Sve Patre Prathakpaya.
Swe Swe Patre Pratakpaya.
Sarva Kama Dugam Prithvim.
Sarva Kama Dukham Prithvim.
Dutuhu Pṛthu Bhavitam.
Tuduhu Pṛthu Bhavitam.
The planet Earth supplied everyone his respective food. During the time of King Pṛthu, the earth was fully under the control of the king. Thus, all the inhabitants of the earth could get their food supply by creating various types of carbs and putting the particular types of milk in various pots. This is evidence that the Lord supplies food to everyone, as confirmed in the Vedas, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kama. Although the Lord is one, He is supplying all necessities to everyone through the medium of the planet Earth. There are different varieties of living entities on different planets, and they all derive their eatables from their planets in different forms. So, who is maintaining each and every one of us? The Vedas, the Katha-upanishad specifically. This is from Katha-upanishad. Nityo nityanam chetana chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kama. There's so many eternals. And out of all these eternals, there is one eternal who is maintaining all other eternals. Krishna is maintaining us. We think, oh, it's Mother Nature who's maintaining us. The trees are giving us fruit, or the rains are falling so that the grains can be produced. The cows are giving us milk. But under whose order is this happening? It's all happening under the order of Krishna. It's like a concert. Everyone plays the orchestra, everyone's playing their different instruments, but there is that conductor. And under the instructions of the conductor, everyone is playing a different part. So Krishna is the one who is the maintainer. And everyone is doing their part under his directions. On the basis of these descriptions, how can one assume that there is no living entity on the moon? Every moon is earthly, being composed of the 5 elements. Every planet produces different types of food according to the needs of its residents. According to the Vedic Shastras, it is not true that the moon does not produce food or that no living entity is living there. Modern science tells us there is no life on moon. But we can hear from Srimad Bhagavatam and all the Vedas. They speak that there is life on all the planets. Each and every planet, the inhabitants have suitable bodies to live in that atmosphere. Same as in the earth itself, we can see the example. Those entities who are living in the water, they have bodies suitable to live in the water. Those who live in the land, they have bodies suitable to live on the land. Those who fly in the sky, they have suitable bodies to fly in the sky. Similarly, those who are on the moon planet or the sun planet have suitable bodies to live in that kind of atmosphere. Evam Pṛthu Adaya Prithvim.
Evam Pṛthu Adaya Prithvim
Anada Swanam Atmana.
Anada Swanam Atmana
Doha Vatsadi Bhedena.
Doha Vatsadi Bedena
Shira Bhedam Kuru Vaha.
Sharavedam Kurutva.
My dear Vidur, chief of the Kurus, in this way King Pṛthu and all the others who subsist on food created different types of calves and milked out their respective eatables. Thus they received their various foodstuffs, which were symbolized as milk. Tato mahi pati pritha
Tato Mahipati
sarva kama dugam Pṛthu
Sarvakama Dugam Pṛthu
duhitritve chakare mam.
Duhitritve Chakare Mam
Premna duhitir vatsala.
Premna Duhitre Vatsalah.
Thereafter, King Pṛthu was very satisfied with the planet Earth, for she sufficiently supplied all food to various living entities. Thus, he developed an affection for the planet Earth, just as if she were his own daughter. So now Pṛthu Mahārāja is happy because everyone has taken whatever they need for their sustenance. Churnayan Swadhanush Kotyam
Churnayan Swadhanushkotya
Giri Kutani Rajarat
Girikotani Rajara
Rajarat
Bhumandalam Idam Venya
Bhumandalam
Bhumandalam
idam
idam
venya
venya
Ayas Chakre Samam Vibhu.
Dhayas Chakre Samam Vibhu.
After this, the king of all kings, Mahārāja Pṛthu, leveled all rough places on the surface of the globe by breaking up the hills with the strength of his bow. By his grace, the surface of the globe almost became flat. Generally, the mountainous and hilly portions of the earth are made flat by the striking of thunderbolts. Generally, this is the business of King Indra of the heavenly planets, but King Pṛthu, an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, did not wait for King Indra to break up the hills and mountains, but did so himself by using his strong bow. So Prithvi had told King Pṛthu, no, that you level my surface so the water can remain, and then there can be vegetation everywhere. We had read it a few days earlier. So now Pṛthu is leveling entire earth. We'll stop here for today. Did anyone have any questions or comments? Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavrinda ki jai. Hare